Good morning and happy Friday. We're back. Hello, Austin. Welcome back.
It's good to be back. Finally, it was a decent little break there. How are you? How are things?
I'm doing well. Everything is good.
Good.
Can't complain. So a little bit of time off there, a little wellness check, but everything is great. We're back on track and lots to catch up on.
Yeah, it's been a busy couple of weeks, even though, we took a little bit of time off there, a little bit of a reset. You were out in Calgary for a nice visit as well before that, so it was good to see you. But yeah, no, lots going on, lots to catch up on. Where would you like to start, Andrew?
There's so much. I mean, we could probably talk for far too long, but let's just keep it to the companies that we know and love and let people up to date on the companies that we're tracking and give them a hint of some of the stories that we're kind of looking at, because in the meantime, we've been talking to lots of other companies in different sectors with different opportunities. We're always trying to keep it ahead of the curve, as I like to say, on other companies that are doing interesting things that fit into the model. So let's just jump in, and it's been a quieter summer, and I think that's not to be surprised, really. Generally speaking, and especially in Canada, the summers tend to be a little bit quiet. Especially mining companies, that's their active period. They're working, they're in the field working a lot at that point, and this year in particular, so many people were just taking time to enjoy the summer. So I think a lot of people were less in front of a computer. Luckily, that's good. In front of their monitors and trading and everything else, to get outside, enjoy space and time with their family, and enjoy the beautiful weather.
Yeah, no, I think you're absolutely right. And we've been hearing from a lot of mining companies as well that assay labs are really backed up and that they're kind of delayed on getting results as well. So I think that's had a little bit of impact on the news flow, as well as there's a lot of people who are waiting and kind of hoping, hey, maybe late August, early September, we'll be getting some promising results.
Yes, and there's quite a few, and there's lots of interesting stories. There's been an absolute explosion of new companies, new issues with old projects, reinvigorated projects, but there's lots of good ones out there. We're looking at some interesting ones right now as well, but obviously the one that's garnered a lot of attention, and although there's no assay results back, they're giving a lot of almost weekly updates as to what they're seeing and what they're getting with the gun, is Goliath, and that stock has done exceptionally well. It's pulled back a bit today. But I mean, like anything, someone's probably taking some profits, but it was up as high as $1.60. I think it's at $1.30 right now, or somewhere around there. But that's been quite a story, a whole life of its own. And it's, we've talked to Roger a number of times over the years, and what they're sitting on potentially is
I can't hear you, Andrew. And I'm not sure if this is Andrew that's muted and you guys can hear me, or if maybe I just can't hear Andrew. So I'm not 100% sure what's going on here. We're having a slight technical difficulty. So see if we can get Andrew back here.
There we go. Hello?
Yep, there we go. We got you back.
Well, for some reason, we lost Adam, and we went mute there for a second. So I don't even know how long I was muted for.
You were talking about Goliath. You were
Yes.
excited about Goliath and giving us a bit of an update there, and then you cut out completely, and I wasn't sure if I lost you on my end or what was going on there. So
no problem. So I was talking about Dr. Quinton Henning and some of the live streams he's done talking about Goliath, the indications that are there, some of the things that are coming out of that they're shooting with the gun and getting some good results. Those aren't, by any means, technical, definitive numbers, but the indications are looking very strong, and the stock has had quite a run. It's very exciting, and we look forward to getting actual assay results soon. But this thing is developing and looking very promising.
It seems like they've had like a great consistent news flow. I know very recently they were reporting some positive results on what is it, the 6th hole at Gold Digger property. Is that correct?
Yeah.
And
Yes.
that seems really promising.
Yeah, they've been expanding and looking at the whole zone. They added the latest target as well. So it's a very interesting developing story, and we're going to keep our eyes on it. As many are. Because if they start getting some of the results that they're anticipating and hoping, this will have it'll be quite an exciting story. Following that up is Lakewood as well. So Lakewood exploration, that was one that came on my radar months back. Really like this story. They've got such a strong thesis. They've had good news flow as well. They've done a lot of surface sampling with some really high grade. I think it was like 11.79 grams per ton and 255 grams per ton silver. So that's strongly developing in an awesome region, and that thesis is very compelling. And it's one of these ones too where, like Goliath, even if you're not strong in mining and you don't understand the technical aspects of it, you can look at some of these videos and get a sense of, I see what they're talking about. I see where they've drilled these holes. I can see where this could end up actually being a mine. And that's important because, at the end of the day, you can make money a number of ways in mining stocks. One is just off the exploration, and there's plenty of stocks that have made excellent rates of return for people that'll never become a mine.
No.
So it's a weird sector in that way, or the mine might be 50 years down the road. Is that there's a number of ways to make money in this and lose money, but very few times is it that you found a project, the assay results are economic, feasible, make sense, there's such high grade, so attainable and economic that it's going to be made into a mine in 5 years. So, could Goliath? We're going to see. The model looks is exceptional and compelling. That if they get the numbers they're hoping, then that'll be quite an interesting story. So those are two really good mining things I wanted to kind of right off the bat chat about. We've got some other companies we're looking at, a couple copper ones. Copper Bank's been sitting flat for a while. It's unfortunate, but hopefully we wish the best that they get kind of back on track, and get some results coming out of there, because that's long term. Certainly a big fan of that story and that company. We like to see some results coming out of there.
Yeah, it'd be very encouraging to see them start to pick up as well. A couple of things that I wanted to touch on and highlight. I mean, people know I'm a big fan of both QU and Globex Data, and they've both had solid, consistent news throughout the last couple of weeks. QU have been shattering records. We always talk about them hitting these viewing records in India with their TV channel. I believe it's an 8-week run that they're on of constantly setting a new high for viewership, which is incredible. And they've been really consolidating and building their plan. I know their management team have been in India kind of discussing the next 12 months and what that's going to look like. So there should be some exciting results coming out of there, updates coming out of that. And they've pushed their revenue guidance as well. They've updated it. They've improved it. They're projecting higher revenue returns. So we're going to be eagerly kind of paying attention and looking at those Q3 numbers to see what that kind of run they might actually be on, and how they've been able to translate this growth in viewership and translate that into ad revenue and some real encouraging numbers on that front. So that's very exciting. And then on the other hand is Globex Data have officially rolled out Secure in the US, which is big. I mean, it's the biggest market that they've been targeting. They were testing it out as they launched in Latin America and Southeast Asia, really kind of fine-tuning the process and getting really dialing in the app and signing people up and how it's going to work, gearing up to this massive US launch. They're spending a ton of marketing dollars behind it. They're advertising on podcasts. They're getting on CNBC, BNN.
Yeah, like Newsmax and stuff like that as well. Like they're everywhere.
They're literally, they've got billboards in Times Square and on the subway stations in New York. Like, these guys are really doing a great job of targeting this US market, this US audience, people who are going to be interested and excited in this. And I think when they start releasing some subscription numbers and some signups and the number of users that they're getting out of this, I believe it's going to be extremely encouraging.
Yeah, I'm not shy about Globex Data. That is such an exciting company. I'm such a fan of Alans Gia, who's running the company, who's created that company and the product. In a couple of years, this is going to be it's going to be a huge story. I'm convinced, and they are doing everything they can to market because this is it's a cash flow heavy business that they're in, and quite frankly, a lot of people aren't interested in security, and I don't have a lot of interest in that type of person, to be perfectly honest. That isn't a critical thinker. That isn't when someone says, "Oh, I don't want anyone can spy on me. Anyone can," I at this point in life, that is such an irresponsible type of behavior or approach to have to life. That I can't even get in the mindset of that type of person. And what they're doing is really exciting. And it's just a matter of people seeing, and never mind. And it is basically, and not to make things political, it tends to be someone who's more conservative minded is going to appreciate privacy. If they're progressive, it's usually they say, "Oh, I don't care. Someone can spy on me all day. It doesn't matter. I've got nothing to hide." No. They don't realize that they're the ones in control with the power, with the narrative, that if that was to switch, would they feel so excited about sharing some of the stuff that they share that most of the world doesn't appreciate? So in any event, leaving that alone, Secure is an excellent product. Time frame, listen, they're doing all the hard work. They're doing all the right things. They're hitting massive milestones, making great deals with lots of syndicators, in the US, outlets and news and agencies. So I think it's just a matter of time for the adoption to kick in. And like anyone knows, adoption is cost a lot. It's hard, but once people get used to it, it breathes a life of its own. And this is not a hard product to use.
No, it's very straightforward. The plans that they have for the other things that they're going to be able to roll out on there, I know they're talking about video chat. I know they're talking about group chat kind of style messaging and stuff as well. It's really exciting. They're really gearing it up to be not just kind of a more secure WhatsApp, but a genuine competition to any big messaging platform, but with that extra kind of ability of, hey, we're based out of Switzerland. We're going to protect your data. We're not going to sell your data to any big tech company, to any government. That it's safe, it's secure, it's right in the name, and it's protected. And that is kind of the extra cherry on top that I think can really, as it starts to catch on and people start to really pay attention to it, that's what will help it really take off. Yeah, no, absolutely. Well, those two are exciting. Everyone we're not shy about how much we like both of those. And just so people will know as well, GMG, listen, I almost forgot. GMG is just plugging away and doing great. I was lucky to have an interview with them probably about a week ago and just catch up as to what they're up to and how things are going. They're plowing along, and I'm real excited about this. Once again, long term, if they start hitting the milestones and continue to meet their milestones, this company is going to be a significant player in the space. So we're fortunate to be involved with a lot of exciting capital groups and family offices and companies that are doing really innovative things. And that's what gets me excited and gets me up in the morning, is because it's a chance to work with amazing people that are really gifted and bright and that see a vision of the future and are tackling a lot of these problems that we see in the world today and providing solutions. And that's what's really compelling, appealing, and it's like I said, it's fun to get up in the morning whenever you get to work with smart people with exciting projects, and that's what this is all about. And also to get people excited as well, get them curious about how can I get involved in some of this this real innovation and change and this whole fundamental way that we're looking at living from now on. Things are being decided right now on your behalf, whether you like it or not, and you can either choose to just ignore or put your time and money into things that will benefit yourself and others in the future,
And that's what we try to do here. And of course, Austin, we have, the product now that's out, the market model mindset. And that is something we've brushed on briefly. And I'm going to be hosting once a week a live stream that's talking about exactly what this product is and how it can help people. Because at the end of the day, that's, I want to get something out to people for them to understand where's the opportunity here in the markets, to understand the way that we see things. From my experience, from Merrill Lynch and RBC and some of the big companies I've worked at, and as well as some of the really interesting, offshore captive insurance deals that I've done. I've had an interesting background myself, not to toot my own horn, but lots of very interesting finance-related things that were offshore as well as onshore. And it's taking that, decades of knowledge and crunching it into a market that I see has the biggest growth potential. And that's because my mindset is exceptional growth. I don't have, millions and billions of dollars that I have that I just want to make a small rate of return on. I like to grow things aggressively, and I'm interested in those aggressive growth stories. And that's what we focus on here as well. We're not advisors. We're not, portfolio managers. We're nothing like that. We are here to tell you about exciting stories with companies that are high growth and that are probably a part of your investment portfolio. But certainly, we're not here to give you any advice as to, what one should do with your portfolio or your money in that sense. Is that we just want to let people know that there's exciting companies out there doing very cool things, and the market model mindset is how we get that out there.
It kind of helps fine tune or give a fine tuning of our process and how you've taken the experience that you've had over 20 years in the business and looked into and creating your method and your model. And that's what's really cool about it, is it gives an insight into, okay, if I just spend a little bit of time, there are some, not to say necessarily neglected, but neglected might kind of be the right word, sectors and areas to look at where there's huge opportunity. And, junior mining is just one of many, and people will notice it. We branch out into other things. We talk about QU and Secure a lot. They're not mining companies. But they're in the junior markets setup, and in general, there's so many companies and such high growth potential among those companies that the course just really gives a good foundation for analyzing and looking at these companies and kind of going, okay, if the management team's right, if they're hitting their milestones, then I can get really excited about this project. Couple things. I know there was one more company you wanted to chat on, Trigon, before we leave. But yes. I also just so people are aware, with GMG, it was a quick thing I was going to note. They had some recent data come out on their aluminum ion battery. It's roughly charging about 60 times faster than a lithium ion battery. And that battery cell can last up to 3 times longer than a lithium ion battery. That's kind of preliminary testing they're coming out of their labs and their project that they're working on. But that is insane numbers to be thinking about for that charging speed. That's really encouraging for this company and what they can do going forward.
Yeah, I'm glad you brought that up. And they have their test factory as well that they've built out. And once again, these are small batteries. So these are like for the Internet of Things, wearable type of things. They'll work on bigger batteries soon, but that small battery market is massive, whether it's in your phone, your watch, any kind of wearable sensors, all these types of things. They're really doing some amazing work over there, and it's this kind of innovation that's very exciting, and their management team is spectacular. So thank you for bringing that up. Trigon Metals is another one. That we're really interested in, because Gratomic has been such a great, wonderful story with graphite in Namibia. This is another company in Namibia. We're looking forward to having them on the show and introducing people to them. They're up to some very interesting things. They've got quite an excellent team with a well-named board, a lot of smart money behind it, and it was fun to find another Namibian company since we learned so much about how favorable a country it is to work in. And I'm not shy about being hesitant about some countries, some continents that I want to get involved in, but Namibia certainly is very business pro-friendly, pro-West. So this is a very good thing. So Trigon Metals, put it on your radar. We're going to speak more to them. And on that note, it's been quiet a couple weeks for myself, but at the same time, we've been doing a lot of behind the scenes work. And I mean, I've been talking to healthcare, a U.S. healthcare company, which is very interesting. I've been talking to a gaming company that's very interesting, another copper deal, and actually, a big kind of player in the cannabis sector that's doing some interesting thing. Who knows where things go? But we're looking at some very interesting deals and projects out there that are outside of mining as well. That we're looking very hard at to see if there's a good fit for us. So things are very interesting. I see the fall heating up very quickly. And not to forget Desert Mountain Energy, which everyone knows I love. That's a developing story. They'll be in production, I believe, in the beginning of the new year in January. NG Energy is going to have some news out, I believe, in September. They've got lots of news with their building infrastructure. They're still hitting milestones. They're doing great work. There's political instability in all of South America right now. Colombia is also struggling with some of the things, but as we've been told from sources there, the energy section is not under any stress in regards to any protests or anything. The unions are on side with them. So it's more of a political shift in regards to a tax that was put in place. And of course, the COVID event that has been plaguing the whole world has certainly hit developing nations a lot harder than anyone else. So lots happening, lots going on. It's been a bit of a slow summer, to be honest, but things are going to ramp up fast in the fall. Yeah. And it's both negatively and positively. I think the writing's on the wall for the authoritarian regimes. They're going to do their big push to keep on clamping power, which will eventually backfire. That's my prediction right there. People will have enough soon enough whenever they actually start looking at data. But we'll leave that alone.
We'll jump on Christmas in Chernobyl another time, perhaps. Oh, I don't know if you lost. We might have lost Andrew again here. The sound cut out. Might have to try muting and unmuting himself. But if we don't get him back here, fantastic to be back on the show. We're super excited. We're getting powered up going through August and into the fall. Make sure you guys are liking, commenting, and subscribing to not just the YouTube channel. We're active on all our social medias as well. We have a TikTok now, for God's sake. We're really branching out. But also the website as well. If you're not subscribed to the website right now, go get signed up right away. You're going to get a copy of the summer newsletter right when you sign up. It's got some great content in there, some great overviews of the companies we like, the ones we talk about a lot, but also a few kind of nuggets of information, some stuff we don't always talk about. So there's some good stuff in there. Make sure you're subscribed. We appreciate you guys keeping up with the content. Andrew, do we have you back there?
I hope so. Can you hear me?
There we go. You betcha.
No, you keep talking. You're doing great. I love it.
Well, that's just we love engaging with you guys. Comment. Let us know what you're interested in. Let us know what you like to hear more of. If there's companies you like, we'll try to get them on. We'll try to talk to them. And yeah, that's all from me, Andrew. I'll leave it over to you. But I hope everyone has a great weekend. We'll see you guys on Monday.
Yes, and just also as a special request, whatever our dear friends out there, Shelley. We will have a carbonomics or carbon report out soon as well. We're working on it right now, so people can look at that kind of developing sector. So once again, happy Friday, everyone. It's great to be back and to see everyone and all our friends. And I'll be a lot more active on my email now as well, reaching out and saying hi to everyone. I apologize for the 10 days, but we're back on track. Everything's happening. It's going to be a fun August, and certainly September rolls around, things are going to look good.
Yeah, we're looking forward to it. We're very excited over here, and we want you guys to join the charge. So this is going to be a very exciting time.
Perfect. All right, take care.
We'll chat to you later, Andrew. Cheers.
Bye-bye.